Have you ever heard a lie so ridiculous you just had to laugh? Well, today's story is about four young men who thought they were the greatest liars in the world. They were so confident, they set out from their village to find some unsuspecting folks to trick and cheat out of their money. Eventually, they came across a riverside clearing far from any village. There, they saw an old man and his wife working diligently. The liars whispered amongst themselves, "Look at them, they must be rich. Let's spin them a tale and take everything they have." So they approached the couple with polite bows. "Greetings, esteemed elders. We've traveled from a distant land on a special quest. We're searching for someone who knows the ancient tales, the old stories of the world. We were hoping you might share one with us." The old couple smiled kindly. "Oh dear boys, we're just simple farmers. It's been a lifetime since we've heard any tales. We're afraid we can't help you. You should ask someone wiser." But the liars weren't giving up. "But revered ones, if someone could tell you an ancient tale, would you want to hear it?" "Oh, yes," the old woman exclaimed. "We would love that very much. But alas, we can never find anyone who knows the old stories anymore." A mischievous glint appeared in the liar's eyes. "Well, it's your lucky day. We each know a fantastic story passed down from our ancestors. But there's one condition. When we tell our tales, you must promise to believe every single word is true." The old man and woman looked at each other, intrigued. "A story is a story," the old man said with a nod. "We promise. We will believe you." So the first liar puffed out his chest and began. "When I was just 3 months old, still inside my mother's womb, I smelled the sweet scent of a ripe mango. The tree was enormous, 50 feet tall, with just one perfect fruit at the very top. My mother craved it, but she couldn't climb, so I thought I must help her. I slipped right out of her belly, scampered up that giant tree, and plucked the mango for her. Once she was happy, I simply climbed back into her womb to continue growing." The old couple nodded slowly, their faces unreadable. Then the second liar stepped forward. "That's nothing. When I was 6 months along in my mother's womb, she was working herself to exhaustion in the fields. I couldn't bear to see her so tired, so I popped out of her stomach and took over her chores. I tended the oxen, plowed the fields, and cooked her meals every morning. When the day's work was done, I'd just hop back into her belly for the night." Again, the old couple listened patiently, not saying a word. The third liar, with a dramatic flair, declared, "My story is grander still, for I am no mere mortal. I am a god who descended from the heavens to be born on earth. I came out of my mother's womb to serve her and guide her in all things. And here's the best part. Just before I die, I will re-enter her womb, and I will be born again, young and powerful forever." Finally, it was the fourth liar's turn. He tried to look very pious. "My friends' tales are impressive, but mine is a matter of holy truth. From the moment I was born, I lived a life unlike any other. I practiced the sacred commandments, but in my own special way. I could drink, smoke, and even kill. But because of my unique spiritual connection, when I die, I am guaranteed to be reborn in heaven. It is my destiny." After finishing their outrageous stories, the four liars stood together, looking smugly at the old couple. So, the first one asked, "Everything we told you is absolutely true. Do you believe us?" The old man stroked his chin thoughtfully. "Yes," he said calmly. "Yes, I believe everything you said." The old woman nodded in agreement. The liars were stunned. They had expected arguments, disbelief, maybe even anger. But this simple acceptance threw them off. They couldn't cheat people who agreed with their lies. Frustrated, they said, "Well, we've told you our stories. Now it's your turn. Tell us a tale, old man." A slow smile spread across the old man's face. "I would be happy to, but first, you must make me the same promise you asked of us. You must promise to believe that every word of my story is the absolute truth." Eager to show how clever they were, the four liars quickly agreed. "Of course, we promise. We'll believe you." The old man cleared his throat and began, "My children, for many years my wife and I have been cotton farmers. For 5, maybe 6 years, the harvests were bountiful. We made enough money to live comfortably and even had extra to share. But this year has been different. The cotton plants withered. Nothing grew. I didn't know what to do." He paused, letting the silence hang in the air. "Then one day I went out to my barren field, and I saw a miracle. In the middle of it all stood one single cotton plant, but it was as big as a palm tree, and on that plant grew one single, enormous cotton boll. I carefully carried it home. When my wife and I opened it up, we were astonished. Inside were not cotton fibers, but for tiny seeds. And as we watched, each seed magically transformed into a baby boy." The old man looked directly at the four liars, his eyes twinkling. "My wife and I raised those 4 boys as our own. We fed them and clothed them. But when they grew into young men, they became restless and ran away from home, seeking their fortune in the world. And now I see they have finally come back to us. You, my boys, are our long-lost sons." The 4 liars stared in horror. Their jaws dropped. "No, that's impossible. We don't believe you." One of them shouted. The old man's gentle smile turned firm. "Oh, but you must," he said. "You gave me your promise. You promised to believe my story, just as we believed yours. If you break your promise now, then it's only right that you stay here and fulfill your duty. You must live with us and serve us, just as good sons should serve their loving parents." The 4 liars were trapped. They had been outsmarted by their own game. Defeated and humiliated, they had no choice but to accept their fate. From that day on, the 4 greatest liars in the world became the loyal servants of the clever old couple. They had set out to trick the world and ended up tricked themselves. This story is a great reminder that cleverness isn't always wisdom, and sometimes the simplest truths are the most powerful. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales from around the world. See you next time.